We have now reached the fourth and final featherweight tournament quarterfinal. Luis Palomino versus Pat Curran. Luis Palomino has recorded 5 career pro MMA wins that occurred in under 90 seconds, with 2 coming in under 40 seconds.
The first tournament for Bellator, things didn't go right for me. It was very disappointing. I'm just happy that I got a second chance to prove who I am, and I'm here to do just that. I'm ready, more focused than ever, physically and mentally ready to win this whole tournament. After the big disappointment, I've been around town just collecting belts. I just came off 3 title shots. I took all 3 belts. I don't think there's a better time for me. I'm more ready than ever. I've never been so ready for a fight. Pat comes out, stands up with people. He can stand with whoever he wants, but when it comes to me, once he feels my power, man, it's gonna be a short night for him. Look out, it's gonna be a knockout. There's nothing in the world that can stop me from winning the Bellator tournament. I'm ready.
Pat Curran won Bellator Season 2 lightweight tournaments with successive victories over Mike Ricci, Roger Huerta, and Toby Amada.
An unknown 145-pound featherweight, Pat Curran jumped at the chance to fill the last spot in the Bellator Season 2 155-pound lightweight tournament. Curran didn't remain unknown for long.
Oh, good hand! Curran reigns victorious. One of the biggest upsets of the year. Best punch of this fight, Pat Curran!
It all led up to a world title fight against the sport's top lightweight, Eddie Alvarez.
Losing's the worst thing that can happen. I hate losing, and even though I lost against Eddie Alvarez, I walked away with a lot of knowledge, and I know what I need to improve on to become a future champion.
A knee by Curran on the counter.
I'm coming back down to my natural weight class at 145, and I'm going to have the power. I'm going to be more explosive, faster. I'm coming into this tournament to walk through everybody, and unfortunately for Luis Palomino, he's the first opponent. And Luis is saying that I can't stand with him. I mean, does he not know Eddie Alvarez? I took his hardest shots. Someone's going to go to sleep in this fight, and it's not going to be me. The only thing on my mind is become a world champion. I want to be the best fighter in the world.
Our Tale of the Tape is sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday.
See the age difference? Pat Curran's 7 years younger than Palomino and a longer reach. Can he keep the brawler on the outside?
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 tonight from Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Now present the final fight in the featherweight tournament quarter-final round. Sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday. And now, inside the cage, 3 5-minute rounds first. Introducing the red corner at 5'8", weighing in at 144 3/4 pounds. As a professional, 16 wins against 6 defeats from Miami, Florida, Luis "Baboon" Palomino. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in at 145 1/2 pounds. The Season 2 lightweight tournament champion and world title challenger returns to featherweight. His professional record, 13 professional victories with 4 defeats, fighting out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, Patty Mike Curran. And the referee in charge, Troy Waugh.
Featherweight tournament quarterfinal number 4. Ronnie Mann, Nazareno Malagari, and Marlon Sandro are already through to the semifinal round. The winner of this bout, Luis Palomino versus Pat Curran, will join them. Troy was the referee.
Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
Round number 1. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion.
These are both guys that definitely want to strike, but Pat Curran has been impressive with his wrestling, with his takedown defense. Will that end up being a factor?
Luis Palomino, born in Peru, living in Florida, is in the white trunks. Pat Curran, raised here in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida metropolitan area, now living just outside of Chicago, Illinois, is in the black trunks. Palomino told us that he definitely wants to keep this entire fight standing. And even though he's a self-professed brawler, he said, I don't want to brawl. I really respect Curran's knockout power. He said, I want to be very smart and sharp with my strikes, but I don't just want to turn this into an out-and-out slugfest.
Well, he says, I like to stay aggressive, but I'm a counter striker. I hit first, they hit back, that's when I counter.
Curran said that he has worked heavily on his boxing and on his Muay Thai. He wants to throw a few powerful kicks, a lot of punches and bunches, and he feels that when he gets his fight to the ground, he will have a very, very big advantage.
The problem is that both these guys, I feel, kind of define themselves as counter fighters, especially Pat Curran. He's a counter puncher, he's very tight, he's very patient. Let's see who can successfully initiate in this fight. Palomino said, hey, I'm a counter fighter. We know Pat Curran's a counter fighter. Who will successfully initiate? So right now, both guys waiting for the other one to open up a little bit.
Curran was a high school wrestler here in Florida. He has been competing in a lot of gi and no-gi grappling tournaments. Be sure to follow Bellator's founder and CEO Bjorn Rebney on Twitter at Bjorn Rebney. Palomino fought in Bellator's Season 1 featherweight tournament. He lost in the quarterfinals versus Esteban Payan by unanimous decision.
Oh, good right hand by Pat Curran.
Curran with the flying knee. Palomino with a takedown, covering up, trying to get back to his feet. That loss by Palomino in the Season 1 featherweight tournament quarterfinal round versus Esteban Payan was Palomino's first ever fight at 145 pounds. He said he did not take the weight cut seriously. He did not take his opponent seriously. He said he will not make that mistake this time. Palomino, though, walks at 170. He says, I'm a natural 155er, but I'm taking this opportunity. I can't pass it up. Curran walks at 175, but he says, I'm a natural 145er. He feels this is his best weight class.
Well, he's going to respect Pat Curran now. That was a great right hand. Pat Curran swarming, getting on top. The question, of course, here is how clear is Palomino's head?
For Palomino, who wanted to keep this fight standing, and for Curran, who felt that he would dominate on the ground, well, this fight is now down on the mat.
This is not where Palomino wants to be. Now, looks like he's trying to set up a Darce choke.
Darce attempt by Curran, and he lost it.
You see him cranking down on the head. He can still get it. He needs to put that right hand on his bicep.
Palomino trying to turn flat to his back. Rather flat to his stomach, now posturing on his knees. Curran holding position, can knee the body, instead steps over.
Peruvian necktie. It's a modified guillotine, both legs on his back.
Got it, a tap! A Peruvian necktie versus the Peruvian Luis Palomino. And just like that, Pat Curran is in the Final Four.
Wow, great performances tonight in this tournament. Pat Curran does not disappoint. Peruvian necktie finish.
First round submission win for Pat Curran. He said that he believes that he would be the strongest of the 8 fighters now down to 4 in this featherweight tournament.
Man, it's hard to pick 4 better 145-pounders than the ones moving on to the semifinals in this tournament. Great performance by Pat Curran. Wow, as soon as it went to the ground, went for the Darce. Palomino was able to slip out, changed position, then Pat Curran locked up his neck, stepped over for the Peruvian necktie. Beautiful job.
3 minutes, 49 seconds of round number 1. The time of the submission finish for Pat Curran.
And take a look at it. You saw Pat Curran landed a nice right hand early in the fight. And it was right here. Stepping in, beautiful right hand. Shades of the Mike Ricci fight. Just a step in right hand. A nice tight overhand right. Not too wild, just right on the button. Palomino, to his credit, still in the fight. But once it went to the ground and once Pat Curran got on top, you see here locking both hands, step over the head, right leg steps over the back. That's how you do the Peruvian necktie. It's the strength of your hips and legs against your opponent's neck, and that is no contest. Beautiful job, excellent finish by Pat Curran.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes at 3 minutes 49 seconds into round number 1 by way of a Peruvian necktie. The winner by submission, now the 4th semifinalist in the featherweight tournament, Patty Mike Curran.
Last year, Pat Curran won a Bellator tournament at 155 pounds. Now he is one step closer towards winning a Bellator tournament at 145 pounds. He is with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Pat Curran. Pat, when we talked to your cousin Jeff, all he talked about was how far your jiu-jitsu has come. That was on display tonight.
Yeah, I was just glad I got a chance to show it off.
Now, talk us through the end of that fight. Did you feel he was in the right position? What made you go for the Peruvian necktie?
You know, I rocked him with the right hand. He went to the ground. You know, he felt a little weak. He was still, getting his mind back together. And, once I just sunk it in, I just went for it. I practiced it in the gym all the time, so.
Now, what are your thoughts on this semifinal round? It seems like everybody in this semifinals is a beast.
Yeah, everyone's real tough, but, I came here to make a statement. This was first fight of the tournament, and this is how it's going to go all the way to the end.
Well, congratulations on to the semifinals. Pat Curran, ladies and gentlemen.